Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're diving into something a little different.
A little different and a little dark.
Yeah, a bit darker than usual.
You hopefully still fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So get this, Voldemort as a TikTok influencer.
Oh yeah, this should be good.
Right. Our source material basically takes this idea and runs with it.
And they take it pretty far.
Pretty far. So to set the scene, we start with Voldemort.
Yeah, good old Voldemort sulking in Malfoy Manor after, being defeated.
As you do.
Exactly. And that's where Lucius Malfoy comes in.
Oh, Lucius Malfoy.
I'm intrigued.
Oh, apparently Lucius is a bit of a tech whiz.
A tech whiz. Seriously.
Yeah, and he introduces Voldemort to the wonderful world of TikTok.
Okay, I have to ask. Why? Like, what would possess Lucius to do that?
I think the source is hinting at Lucius being kind of fed up with Voldemort.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about Voldemort? Why is he interested in TikTok?
Well, it's Voldemort.
True.
He's all about power and attention.
So TikTok is just another way for him to, be him, pretty much. The source makes it clear that he's immediately drawn to the idea of having millions of followers.
Millions of followers hanging on his every word.
Exactly. It's like a dream come true for someone as narcissistic as Voldemort.
Okay, so he's interested in TikTok. Now what?
Now the fun begins. He comes up with the most Voldemort username ever at Dark Lord Daily.
Subtle.
Right. And his first viral video, a Killing Curse tutorial set to like a super catchy dance track.
Hold on. A Killing Curse tutorial.
Yeah. Apparently it's a step-by-step guide complete with wand movements and special effects.
And this is going viral. Like, people are actually watching this.
Oh yeah, the source even mentioned some of the comments.
Oh, I bet the comments are a goldmine.
They are. Like, Bellatrix Lestrange is totally fangirling over it.
I can just imagine her commenting, Slay Queen or something.
Something like that. And then you have Snape lurking in the comments, just being cryptic as always.
Classic Snape. But I have to ask, does it all stay super dark and edgy, or does his content evolve?
Oh, it definitely evolves. He branches out into all sorts of stuff.
Like what?
Well, there are his dark magic DIY segments where he shows people how to make Horcruxes at home.
Okay, that's just irresponsible.
I know, right? But then he also does these villainous duets.
Villainous duet.
Yeah, like one with Darth Vader.
Now that I have to see.
Oh, and it gets better. He starts doing reaction videos where he roasts Harry Potter's Quidditch skills.
Okay, that I can actually see him doing.
Right. It's actually kind of funny.
But wait a minute, with all this TikToking, is Voldemort even trying to, take over the world anymore?
That's the thing. The source suggests that he gets so caught up in being an influencer that he totally neglects his evil plans.
So he's basically trading world domination for TikTok fame.
Pretty much. And while he's busy making videos, Harry and his friends are out there destroying his Horcruxes.
Oh, the irony. The Dark Lord defeated by his own vanity.
It's like the ultimate influencer fail.
But speaking of failing, did he face any backlash? I mean, he is Voldemort after all.
Yeah, there's definitely some controversy. The wizarding world isn't exactly thrilled about their dark, lord-embracing muggle technology.
I bet the Daily Prophet had a field day with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole issue of him basically profiting off of dark magic.
Yeah, that's not going to sit well with everyone.
Definitely not. But you know what really brings him down?
What?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. How?
He duets one of Voldemort's videos.
No.
Just a simple caption. Nice try, Tom, and it goes viral.
Talk about a burn.
Right. It completely overshadows everything Voldemort's ever posted.
That's got to sting.
Oh, I'm sure it did. So what does Voldemort do?
I'm guessing he doesn't take it well.
Not at all.
No.
He deletes his account, retreats into the darkness.
So that's it. The Dark Lord defeated by a teenager on TikTok.
Well, not exactly. See, even though he deletes his account, he's verified.
He's away.
Verified. Like, he has that little blue check mark next to his name.
Even in defeat, he gets that little bit of validation.
It's actually kind of hilarious, but it does make you wonder, could he have actually achieved his evil goals if he hadn't gotten so caught up in the influencer game?
That's a really good question.
And one we'll be exploring further after a quick break.
Stay tuned. Okay, so we've got Voldemort, the most feared wizard of all time, turned verified TikTok personality.
It's wild, right?
Yeah. It's funny, but also kind of creepy.
Definitely. I think the source is trying to make us think about what power really means these days.
Like in the age of social media.
Exactly. Because we've seen how influencers can totally change people's minds.
All right, they can start trends, even control what people think is cool.
Exactly. So could Voldemort have used TikTok to manipulate people?
To get the wizarding world on his side.
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah. But the source doesn't tell us exactly what his plan was.
True. But it does say that he was initially drawn to TikTok because of his ego.
Well, that's not surprising.
Right. I mean, this is the guy who split his soul into 7 pieces just to avoid dying.
Yeah. So, of course, he loves the idea of having a platform where he can show off.
Basically. It's like those giant snake statues he was so obsessed with.
Just a digital version.
Exactly. But what about everyone else? Were all the witches and wizards, like, loving his content?
Yeah, were they all obsessed with that Dark Lord Daily?
Well, not exactly.
Oh.
The source mentions that there was some backlash.
Backlash? About what?
About him using Muggle technology.
Oh, right. He hates muggles.
He does. So you can imagine how some of the more traditional wizards felt about him using TikTok.
I bet they were furious. But he still got verified, right?
He did, which means he must have had tons of followers.
So even in the wizarding world, a good TikTok can be hard to resist.
It seems that way.
So what's the takeaway here? Is this whole Voldemort TikTok thing just a funny story? Or is there something deeper going on?
I think there's definitely a deeper message here.
Like what?
Well, on one level, it's making fun of how obsessed we are with social media.
Like needing all the likes and followers.
Exactly. And Voldemort, even though he's super powerful, falls into the same traps as any influencer.
He wants the attention. He wants to be relevant.
Yep. And it ultimately destroys him.
So it's like a cautionary tale.
Yeah, I think so. But it also makes you wonder about the people who would actually follow Voldemort on TikTok.
That is a good question. Who are these people?
Right. The source gives us a few clues.
Like what?
Well, there are the Death Eaters, obviously.
They're like his super fans.
Exactly. And then there are probably some people who are just curious.
Yeah. Like they want to see what he's going to do next.
And then there are probably some people who are just waiting for him to mess up.
The haters.
Yeah, basically.
I bet the comment section was a total mess.
Oh, I'm sure it was. But in the end, it wasn't the comments that brought him down.
It was Harry Potter.
Right. Just one viral video, and Voldemort's whole influencer persona is shattered.
It's kind of amazing when you think about it.
It is. In the books, Harry defeats Voldemort with magic and love.
Yeah. And here he does it with a TikTok duet.
It's like the ultimate revenge.
But it also shows how powerful social media can be.
Definitely. Because in the end, Voldemort loses control of his own story.
And that's something we should all think about, I think.
Totally. We've spent a lot of time talking about Voldemort's failure.
Yeah, his rise and fall as Dark Lord Daily.
Exactly. But there's one last question we need to answer.
What's that?
Could he have actually been a successful influencer?
If he hadn't let it all go to his head.
Precisely. Could he have achieved his goals if he hadn't been so obsessed with TikTok?
That's a tough one.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's a question worth exploring.
So let's dive in. All right, so we've seen how Voldemort's TikTok obsession kind of backfired.
Yeah, spectacularly.
But what if he hadn't been so obvious about it?
What if he'd actually played the long game?
Yeah. Could he have become like a legit influencer?
And used that influence to, achieve his evil goals.
Okay, I'm listening.
So imagine Voldemort ditching the whole at Dark Lord Daily persona.
No more killing curse tutorials.
Nope. Instead, he goes for something more subtle.
Like what?
Like maybe he rebrands himself as like a motivational speaker.
Voldemort. A motivational speaker.
But like a super charismatic one.
Okay, I can kind of see it.
He could talk about like achieving your dreams, overcoming obstacles, that kind of stuff.
But with a dark twist?
Exactly. He could be all like, embrace your inner power, but really he's talking about dark magic.
Whoa, that's actually pretty clever.
Right. He could even start a hashtag like hashtag rise above the ordinary.
And everyone would think it's just like a self-improvement thing.
But really, he's recruiting future Death Eaters.
Oh, wow, that's dark.
It is, but it could totally work.
I mean, people fall for that kind of stuff all the time.
They do, and Voldemort is like a master manipulator.
Yeah, he knows how to push people's buttons.
Exactly. So he could use TikTok to spread his message to like millions of people.
And no one would even realize what he's really up to.
Until it's too late.
That's kind of terrifying when you think about it.
It is. It shows how easy it is to be manipulated online.
Yeah, we really have to be careful about who we trust and what we believe.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think Voldemort could have been a successful influencer.
But only if he'd been willing to play the long game.
And be a little less obvious about his whole evil plan.
Well, this has been a wild ride.
Yeah.
We've gone from Voldemort as a bumbling TikToker to like a master manipulator.
It's been a journey, but I think it's a journey worth taking.
Definitely. It makes you think about the power of social media and how easy it is to get caught up in it.
And it reminds us that sometimes the most dangerous villains are the ones who hide in plain sight.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, stay curious, stay skeptical, and as always, dive deep.